That was the last thing Colleen gave me before she kicked me out of the house. Good morning, guys. It's second Saturday of March. Yep, and we got a lot of stuff to get ready. March 17th is coming. Petit potato time. St. Patty's Day. I hear it's kind of a tradition over in the UK, so we're gonna do that here. Super excited about that. And the criteria, and we were talking about this last night, the criteria for us is fun first, taste second, yield third, and there's probably a fourth and a fifth. But those are our big three. And that's kind of not just for potatoes, but everything in the garden. That's what we want to kind of have as our priorities. We'll figure out how to get the yields up as time goes on. But basically, number one, fun. So that's what we're gonna do. Speaking of which, with this list I was given today, there's one thing that actually isn't on it that I'm gonna do first, which is compost. So I have collected up in the last 2 days, probably about 150 pounds of coffee grounds. And with that, here in Victoria, or in the municipality that we're in Victoria, in Oak Bay, they have a street collection pickup of yard waste. And we have a legendary pile right there. We'll cut it in the picture, that will be going out to the curb. But with that, as I've been driving around, I've been seeing tons of free and cool resources that I can use to build this adorably small compost pile into something much bigger. So that's what I'm going to do first today, is kind of go around, fill up the back of the truck with stuff that I can put in the pile. I'm going to add all that coffee because, you know, for me, if one Tylenol works good, then two are going to work even better. So that's what I'm going to do. This compost here is probably 95% carbon if you include the dirt that's in it, soil. And I added probably, I don't know, 5 to 15 pounds of coffee. And it went from, well, 60 degrees about 3 weeks ago. And hey, Snowy, how's it going? Okay, so when I built the compost pile, yeah, it was probably 95% carbon if you include the soil and the you know, like all the leaves and all the other stuff that we collected up. So basically we had a little bit of grass clippings and a little bit of food scraps that we put in there. So what I'm going to do is go around, collect as much as I can, and build this pile up and add 100 pounds of coffee to it and just see what happens. I did see a video this week. Hugh Richards over in the UK was talking about coffee and doing a third of coffee, a third of something else, and a third of something else. I can't remember what the other 2/3 were, but I did remember the coffee part. So I'm gonna go nuts with this and just see what it does. I mean, it might not turn out that great, but oh well. I can always use it to fill up my later compost pile. Yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna knock that one out first and then come back and try to start chipping away at this list for my beautiful bride. Awesome. Okay, wish me luck. Some nice brown material into the single-use bag. All right, through the magic of editing, back. Only took about, what did that take? Probably 45 minutes, an hour, to get my sack full, and then some other stuff. What's not going to show up is someone locking their truck keys in their truck and taking like 2 hours to get that fixed. But it's okay. It's okay. I contain my feels, and we'll just soldier on here. So yeah, I got the super sack, just a bunch of browns and some greens, a lot of ferns. So I'm really hoping that this pile will get thermophilic, like over 120, 140 would be nice. Try to kill off all that stuff. And then I got moss is a huge problem here in Victoria. I I got a buddy that works for a landscaping crew, so this was all through the piles. What they do is they power rake it, and then they apply the moss killer. So we should be fine with this stuff. There won't be any of the herbicides on there. So yeah, and then finish it off. This was in one of the piles, so I'm sure this will compost down pretty good. We'll probably repurpose the bows. I'm sure we can figure out something to do on that. So that's gonna go in there. And then yeah, it's gotta be, I don't know, I'm not the strongest guy. That feels like about 300 pounds. So it's probably about 120, maybe 80 pounds worth of coffee. And yeah, so I'm gonna layer the bin with some cardboard on the bottom. And then I'm just gonna start going brown, green, brown, green, brown, green. I'm gonna throw some of our almost finished compost in some layers in there and just try to get this thing cooking. And what I'm gonna do, my goal is to flip it at least twice, if not 3 times a week, and see how fast we can make some sweet compost. I was just at our local farm store, and sadly our soil has almost doubled in price just this 1 year. So I want to make some compost, and I want to make some good compost. So wish me luck. Might do a little pause and record, but I'm not gonna, you know, make you guys watch all this. So, and the other thing I'm gonna do is I got the lawnmower, so I'm gonna take the extra time and actually run it over with a lawnmower, try to get the pieces nice and small, and yeah, see how big of a pile we can make. Super exciting for me. Anyways, I think I was talking to a guy just yesterday in the comments about how I think I like scrounging and composting more than I actually like gardening. It might be true. It might be true. But all right, here we go. Knew I was gonna forget something. Yeah, that's fine. But that is the compost pile. That's like 4 by 4 by, I don't know, 4? I'm about 6 feet. That's about halfway up me. So yeah, that's a pile. So I layered it with browns, the old compost, the compost that had been running, all the stuff that I found today, and then some grass clippings, probably a lot of moss in there. There's a lot of ferns, so I hope it gets hot. Well, I know it's gonna get hot. Like the stuff that I was adding in from my old pile there was already at the peak of the mesophilic range, and this thing's gonna be thermophilic very, very quickly. I think it's gonna be an issue of keeping it under 155, but that's exciting to me. To me, that's exciting. Like I said, I really enjoy composting, and it's the one thing that I think I could really add to the garden. Colleen does a great job with the veg and the flowers, and I'm getting there, but she's way ahead of me. But I think with the composting, I'm getting it. So yeah, I hope I'm gonna be turning this a lot, like I said, and yeah, I hope we can have some compost for trials, maybe June. I think that's totally reasonable. Everything's finally chopped up in there. So yeah, I think it's gonna be hot. It's gonna get real hot. It's at least 100 pounds of coffee in there. And then I've got all the bags that the coffee came in. I'm just gonna soak them in buckets in water, and then use that as either as an activator or feed some unsuspecting maybe flowers. I don't think I'll feed tomatoes with it, because I saw Terry King's video on what happens when you grow tomatoes in coffee. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. You can try it, definitely try it, but I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, I'm just gonna cover this up with cardboard. Then I got carpet that I'm gonna put on top of that, and then I'm gonna put a tarp on top of that. Try to keep the rain that's coming off of it. And yeah, super stoked, super stoked. I'll do some updates on it for you guys, probably some just quick compilation stuff, because it's probably not very exciting for a lot of you, but I am super stoked. And if you listen, Snowy stoked too. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys have a great night, and yeah, I got a couple more things to do. I didn't get hardly anything done on the list, hun. I'm sorry. yeah, I won't lock the keys in the truck again today. Today, that's my promise. So anyways, have a great night, guys, and yeah, cheers. 65 degrees and climbing. And a perfect finish to a perfect day. That was on the street. We have racks now. We need racks. Perfect. Awesome. That's just great. Yep. Mm-hmm. Anything else? One more. Come on. You got it in you. One more. Or are you gonna wait till I start talking about compost again? Yeah, compost. Snowy likes compost. Awesome. Awesome. 9 a.m. Oh, I know what we should do, hon. We should do live streams. This would be great. This would just be so great to do live stream. Maybe the neighbors could fire up their leaf blower. Just be awesome. Awesome.